Pietro. Ça va? Thierry smiled to himself, even as a war of emotions collided in his chest. He'd been worked up and determined just minutes ago, ready to plead for another chance at this job, but now, facing the reality of asking for it and the inevitable explanation as to why he'd taken his time, well, Pietro. Missed your call. I've been at the hospital for 100 years waiting for an x-ray right now. Can't talk. Thierry.
I know. I ran into your friend James tonight, and he told me you were injured. Sorry to hear it. I also wanted to apologize for not calling sooner.
Pietro. Is that your weird way of asking if the job is still open? Thierry.
Peut-être.
Pietro. Don't tell me. I remember that one. Because? Thierry.
Maybe.
Pietro. Did anyone ever tell you that playing hard to get with the job is not the way to go? But if you must know, yes, it's still open. Still no line around the block trying to cook for me. Thierry.
Are you free this week?
Pietro. Looks like it. Fucked up my ankle real nice, so I won't be playing until next week. Thierry.
I'm sure your team will miss you.
He very nearly typed out that he'd been watching the highlights, but he quickly managed to backspace and recover. That was something Pietro didn't need to know. It was something he never needed to know. Thierry.
Do you still want an omelet?
Pietro. Laugh my ass off, bro. I don't care. I've been eating lean cuisine. Just surprise me. Thierry had to do a quick Google search to find out what lean cuisine was, and what he found horrified him. The man was a professional sports player. What the hell was he doing? He quickly ran through his internal recipe index. He knew that Pietro was from an Italian family, the sort that passed down sauce recipes and all knew how to hand-roll gnocchi. He also knew that Pietro couldn't cook any of that long before the man had admitted to being a disaster in the kitchen. Thierry had half expected the man to cook for Hervé in an attempt to impress him. Instead, they survived on delivery and 5-star reservations at all the local spots that only celebrities like Pietro could get into. Pietro. Did I scare you off? Thierry.
I'm coming up with a menu. I can be there on Thursday. That will give me time to pick up my supplies.
Pietro. Then I guess I'll see you soon. Thierry.
A bientôt.
Typing bubbles appeared on the screen, then disappeared, then appeared again. But when no text came through, Thierry turned his phone on silent and set it on the nightstand. He had PT the next day, which meant he could pick Chris's brain for what else he suggested to help him with the new job. After that, he could figure out the rest. He knew Pietro would give him the job, even if he served up bitter slop. Part of it was pity, but part of it was something else Thierry just hadn't quite figured out yet. He'd once thought the dark look in Pietro's eyes was from Hervé, but now he wasn't so sure. Closing his eyes, he felt a small well of satisfaction warming the cold void that had appeared since Hervé showed up at his door. He wasn't sure what would happen with his past still haunting his doorstep, but he wasn't ready to give up on a future either.